Hello everyone, these are the behavioral adaptation notes for Unit 8. Let's get started with some examples here. We've got salmon. They're swimming back to where they were born to spawn with other salmon. We've got the male bowerbird here who is decorating his nest to attract a female. These are all behavioral adaptations. We went over structural adaptation yesterday, physical things about the body that help us survive or reproduce. We're going to go over more reproductive focused stuff next, but this lesson is focused on the behavioral ones. And they can be either instinctive, meaning you're born with knowing how to do them, or they can be learned. You learn through your lifetime how to do a behavior or learn to associate something with food or danger. So let's look at some examples here. We've got hibernation. So hibernation is happening with these bats. They are waiting for more food or the right temperatures in their environment. So it's any sort of period of inactivity during cold times. Lots of seasonal organisms go through this because they have to deal with winter or any other seasonal changes. Maybe there's a lack of food or something. But they're not taught how to do this, so it is instinct. It is an instinctive behavior. They're born knowing how to do this. Estivation is very similar, but instead of cold periods, it's more like dry periods. They're protecting themselves from loss of water. They're waiting for more water to occur, to be in the environment. So they have to have adaptations like this lungfish who has encased himself in mucus so that he can wait out this drought that is occurring. And again, like hibernation, it is instinct. Now, if you have the ability to leave, if there's not enough food, or not enough mates, or not enough water, and you can swim or fly away, that's migration. So a long distance movement, usually again seasonally, like birds, whales, salmon, they will go try to find those resources with their ability to move these long distances. Now, again, they're not taught this. It is instinct. Courtship is any sort of behavior that is meant to select mates. Like peacocks are going to show their feathers. Deer will fight for females. They are not taught how to do this. Again, it is an instinct. Pheromones are chemical signals, like this lemur here. He has glands in his wrist that he's rubbing on his tail to wave at females because he thinks it might help him be more attractive. So any sort of chemical signal used for communication is going to be what pheromones are. Bees and ants do this to show each other where home is, where food is. That's their whole communication style because they can't talk to each other. They have to lay down these chemical signals. If you've ever had a dog, you know it likes to pee on things, try to mark its territory or show other dogs and sniff their butts. Again, this is instinct because they're not taught how to do this from other animals. They are born knowing how. Taxis we've gone over before, like a moth and light. A moth instinctively flies towards the light. Why that is really unclear, but it is a movement in response to a stimulus, something in the environment like a sight or a smell. And they do this as like a reaction. So they're reacting to the environment. So it is an instinct. They're not taught to move towards this light or to move towards the smell of food. It is an instinct. Now, classical conditioning, a scientist was studying the salivary glands in dogs and noticed that whenever he would ring the bell, if he gave them food, then the dog would associate the sound of the bell with the food, and he would drool even though there was no food around. So you can be conditioned to a stimuli, like the sound of the bell, to think of another stimuli. So if you know the bell means food, you've learned this association. So it is a learned behavior. And if you think about school and bells, we've learned that the bell means to get up and leave. You can also learn that something doesn't mean something. So you could get used to something. This horse needs to get used to the sounds of the city. He needs to learn that the cars and the people are not dangerous. So is a learned behavior. Imprinting, a goose or gosling will learn that the mom is to be trusted and to follow. So recognizing an animal, person, thing as an object of trust. And you are learning this kind of behavior. Now, trial and error, we've all done before if you've ever had to plug and chug in a math equation. So it's problem-solving method involving repeated attempts. This works, this doesn't work. Certain monkeys will learn how to use the best rocks to smash open nuts. After try, after try, after try, they learn which rocks work best. So it is a learned behavior. And we've got the startle response. So the startle response is when, for instance, this mouse here hears a cat. His heart rate and his nerves are going to react to that. He's going to be startled. He's going to react to the stimuli in the environment. And it's a defensive response to threatening stimuli. Now, he is not learning that the mouse means danger. He knows the mouse means danger, so it is instinct. If you've ever seen herd scatter from seeing a lion, or if you've ever been to a haunted house and you jumped, that's startle response. So, a couple examples here. Let's see how you do. Migration is a learned behavior. True or false? That is false. Migration, they are born knowing how to do it. Let's skip to another one. Taxes can be positive or negative. A roach moving away from light is negative phototaxis. Well, light, photo, those go together. That's good. Taxis is the movement in reaction to something, so that's good. And moving away from something, that would be negative, so that is true. So learned and innate behaviors. Innate are the instinctive ones like migration, estivation, hibernation. Learned are the ones that happen during the lifetime. So like the classical conditioning where you learn to associate a sound or a smell with something else. That sound means danger. This smell means food. But they're both behaviors. They're both behaviors that are adaptations to help an organism survive or reproduce. Let's try a multiple choice question. What can be concluded about the behavior of a dog who enters the kitchen when she hears the can opener? She has learned that the can opener means food is coming. Food is coming, so it is learned through classical conditioning. Learned response, learning that this means something else. Similar to hibernation, animals in hot, dry environments with limited resources are also able to become dormant. That means resting, inactive for a period of time. So it's not hibernation because it's hot and dry instead of cold, so it's estivation. And that's it for behavior adaptations. I hope that was helpful.